Hey everyone, this is just Ethan at the top of the podcast to let you know that we recorded this podcast prior to the announcement that Iron Fist and Luke Cage were going to be canceled for their third seasons. So just bear that in mind as we go through Iron Fist Season 2 and chat about what we think is going to happen afterwards, because that'll be completely incorrect at this point. But anyways, thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Welcome down, everyone, to another episode of Those Nerds You Know. My name is Ethan.
My name is Eddie.
My name is Scott.
And we are Those Nerds You Know.
Hello. We're a podcast where we talk about nerdy things like movies and TV and games and manga and novels and other things that we might have interest in.
Yep. Any one of those things.
All of those things and more.
And today that thing is Iron Fist Season 2.
Oh, yeah.
The second, which is surprising that it got a second.
Back in the habit.
But who knows?
Truth, but they did cut it down to 10 episodes, which I was happy about.
Oh, man. Didn't that make the most difference out of all of it? Jeez Louise.
I mean, it made it easier for me to be on time for this podcast, so...
What a slacker.
Broski, hush up. I don't slack at all. I work so much. I work so much that we're recording this and I haven't released our previous episode. So
that's fun. Well, some behind the scenes for you.
Yeah.
Ethan's laziness.
Look here. Well, my laziness affords me quite a bit of overtime at work, so it's going to be great. It's going to be a good paycheck.
Get some of that time and a half, though.
Oh, yes.
Just in time for PAX, eh?
Just in time.
Just in time.
Yes.
Are you guys going to cover PAX again?
I mean, almost certainly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get a lot of good stuff from PAX. Go around and play all the indies. Wait in really long lines. Mm-hmm. It's a good time.
Nintendo's probably going to be there because they're going to have like Animal Crossing and possibly like Metroid Prime 4 demos.
I'd be down. That would be the first Metroid Prime game I've ever played.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never played the others.
Oh, man. I played the first 3, and they were really, really good.
Really? Interesting. Did you ever play any of the other Metroid games?
Honestly, no.
Cool. Interesting.
What a bunch of weirdos.
I was more of a first-person shooter fan, so when Metroid Prime came out, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool."
Yeah,
so.
It is. But I mean, like, it's just funny to me when I think back that like you and David like got your start in video games at the GameCube.
Yeah,
like,
we started the GameCube.
What a weird introductory place for games.
Yeah, I've been playing ever since the Atari.
Oh my word!
And then I went toward the NES. Yeah.
You're not that old, Eddie. How did you start at Atari?
Well, my grandma had the Atari.
Oh, okay.
I was introduced to the NES initially, but I went backward toward the Atari.
Cool.
Yeah, well, she's pretty cool. But but I went backward instead of forward for a little while because it took a bit for the Super Nintendo to come out. But I had one of each of the early consoles. So.
Wow.
All about that SNES. That was my first gaming
I'm
experience.
Very, very happy with my game knowledge and collections.
As are we. Happy to have you here. To balance out our extreme lack thereof.
Mm-hmm. Especially yours.
Look here, bro. Luckily enough, today we're talking about Iron Fist Season 2. Not a video game. Thank goodness. Anyway, Iron Fist. So Iron Fist Season 2 is... Iron Fist himself is a character from Marvel. They are part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, loosely. But this is the Marvel Netflix universe, which sort of keep to themselves. This is the second season of Iron Fist, but is the... Well, I guess it's like the... It's the third season where he's played third season of a show that he's played a major role in. Mm-hmm. And he also showed up for an episode in Luke Cage Season 2.
It was like 3 episodes, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was 1.
This is also the series that I watched all. This is one of the only seasons that like I watched all the way through without very little stoppage, and just felt like it was seamless. Like there wasn't like a lot of like crap that was kind of like bogging it down like all the other things or whatever.
I will say it didn't. I don't think it lagged as much as the others, but that could just be because they cut 3 whole hours out by cutting down the episode
would
count.
Help, wouldn't
There's
it?
still some things that I think were kind of like, why is this here? But no, I guess we can get to that. Anyway, sum up. Iron Fist is now post Defenders, doing the street thing in place of
Matt Murdock.
Accurate.
Matt Mercer.
I was about to say Mercer. I was about to say it. Because their names are so similar. It's just like the last syllable is different. Mercer or Murdoch? Come on.
I wonder what like Venn diagram you sit in of like people that know Matt Mercer well enough to know who he is and his name and confuse it with Matt Murdock. You know what I mean? Like
a very small group, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Matt Murdock told him to protect the city before he died.
Quote unquote.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He didn't die.
I said spoiler alert.
That series too good. They can't leave that one. They certainly can't.
Did you know?
They can't continue a Luke Cage and a Iron Fist and not give us another Daredevil. Absolutely not.
Well, it's the third season of Daredevil, and the other two only got 2 so far.
I'm so excited.
Well, Jessica Jones got 2 as well.
Yeah, she did.
So Mr. Murdoch is ahead of the game by 1 season.
Like 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks. I'm so excited. That freaking trailer that dropped today.
Really
There's
good.
definitely some much hype from Ethan's corner.
It got me so hyped.
Ethan is so hyped. Like he's spammed us in text messages.
I know.
And everything.
I'm
like
so
fanboy.
ready. It's my
20 minutes after I watched it.
He's
great.
my favorite character, and like his series is my favorite, and I'm just so ready. Like the moment in the trailer when they're in the freaking office building, he's like, "Who is you?" And he's like, "I'm Daredevil." And you see Matt, and he's like, "Mm." And I was, I'm so ready for this.
And then Castlevania.
Yes, Castlevania. Oh,
There's a lot of good
It's
stuff.
going to be a good month for Netflix,
So, yeah,
for
It's
sure.
gonna be a great month. Yep, we won't have to worry about content for a bit.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
If Ethan doesn't watch the things that we are planning to
I
do.
will try so hard. I'm just gonna have to like block out a weekend and be like, "Hey, don't invite me to friends. Don't invite me to anything fun.
I'm gonna sell myself
Gotta
up from
watch
you.
all
I'm
of
gonna be
this
completely unsociable.
Oh my gosh, yes. Anyways, Iron Fist season 2.
Yeah, so
So-
it starts with Danny Rand like picking up where like Matt Murdock left behind, and then he doesn't feel like the Iron Fist that we saw in the first season because of that, or even the Iron Fist that we saw in Defenders. And I think a lot of that has to do with Matt Murdock passing away in his mind. He has to like fill in Daredevil's shoes, so he kind of takes a little bit of his persona a little bit, I feel.
Maybe so. I think he's just had a bit of a dose of reality.
Yeah, also correct.
Yeah. Got the crap beat out of him a couple times and got a haircut. So,
Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
And now he's taking in hard labor jobs where he can get all that stress out, so he doesn't have to fight and beat up people all the time.
yeah.
He also went from like, I'm Danny Rand walking around fighting people to I'm going to put on a mask when I'm the Iron Fist and fight people and everything like Daredevil did.
That's true. Just being a little more cautious, I guess, about his public image.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he's still a bit too ragey for me.
Really?
Heck yes. Did you not what? Like there was a point where even homegirl Colleen was like, you need to not react so emotionally. Like you need to think and choose.
Oh, you
what
mean
you're,
in
what you're going to
Having
do.
Like the ring?
Having said that, he's a lot better than what he was in season.
Oh no, he is
in terms
comparatively is much
of
better.
anger issues.
Like I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the progress he's made. I still feel like it's not where I would personally want it.
Yeah, I
Like
feel
I still
that,
like
I feel like the reason why he is that way is because of the situation that's happening. Like before, a lot of his rage was very uncalled for. It was just like, oh, I'm Danny Rand. All the stuff that I have is lost. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. I come home and now it's all gone. But I feel like in this case, like even though he's trying to be as patient as he possibly can, like things are just going horribly wrong for him. And I'm just like, I'd be angry in that situation. I may not be the Iron Fist, but like. He shows more patience than I would in this certain situations.
See, the difference is that you didn't spend your life in a monastery in martial arts training, and I feel that he having done that should be a lot more patient than what he was, so, at least in season 1.
So I thought that as well, but then we look at Davos, and Davos is not the pinnacle of calmness either.
Well, I didn't think Davos was very good either, but that's just me.
But then
I think that his ideals are completely silly, but
of course it is. But then even like the Thunderer, like in season 1, like when we hear him talking to Danny Rand, like nobody in this monastery seems to be of peaceful mind. Everybody, except for like Davos's mom, but even then it's like a cynical, like, I hate you because you didn't beat this white boy kind of mentality. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I can kind of understand that, yeah. But I'm still on the side of like, even if he's not calm and patient, he's supposed to be the greatest fighter in the world, which just doesn't show.
Yeah.
But I really love that there's a good like almost self-aware little ribbing that Ward does, like when Ward sees him after he's gotten beat up or something like that, and he's like, "Aren't you supposed to be the greatest fighter in the world?" And like they laugh about it, and I'm like, "Ha ha!" But for real though,
fair.
So like, anyway, I guess I'm airing my grievances first. That's what we're doing.
just bring them all out. Just come on.
That's what you got in here. I feel like he should be more calm and like kind of fun, because that's more, I think that would be truer to his character. But yeah, I kind of felt as though they were going to maybe go a route of giving him like a new sort of mentor type deal to help him reach that, to calm him down. And their answer to that was like kind of using Colleen to do that. Which I felt was okay, but it wasn't okay. It was very weird. It was
she wasn't the pinnacle of like teaching either. Like
yes.
She's displayed as a teacher, but she teaches teenagers in a rundown dojo.
Yes.
She's not like the pinnacle monastery monk person that Danny received training from beforehand and such. And I like Colleen, but
I do too.
She wasn't the person that should have been doing that, I guess.
Accurate. Yes.
Because she doesn't seem as experienced as she's portrayed to be.
Yes, she's not a sage. She's not any older than he is, and she hasn't had any more training than he has. Less, probably.
Yeah, less. Like, probably less than he.
Like, it's very strange. It was real weird when he was like, "You should teach me," and I'm like, "Why though? Like, you are a kung fu master, supposedly.
I think that.
Why do you need training from anybody?" And I'm just like, "What?"
I think what he was touching on is that, like, yes, he knows kung fu, but like that's all he knows, and kung fu, like, it's overarching, right? It's a martial art that like encompasses a lot of aspects of fighting, but it isn't the pinnacle of fighting. Like, there are kung fu, there are kung fu katas that would not surpass other certain martial art katas in certain defense, like in certain positions or scenarios. And so seeing her have like techniques in Hapkido or Kendo or other things could help him work on his techniques. I could see her learning from that. But you're right, like he is supposed to be more skilled overall as a fighter, as a martial artist than her. So it didn't seem that what she could bring to the table was something that was beneficial. But at the same time, I feel like he was kind of missing the fundamentals, in my opinion. He kind of like he kind of got into his head like, I'm the Iron Fist, I'm gonna do the thing, I don't really care, blah 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 blah. And all the things that she taught him weren't really like difficult techniques. You know, she wasn't like teaching him like 5-finger death punch kind of stuff. She was teaching him like punch the wall,
the 5-point palm finger
exploding technique. Yeah, from Kill Bill. But like she was teaching him like regular fighting styles and everything.
Yeah, well, no, like I understand that, like, but like they were trying to push this. She's teaching him how to handle himself mentally thing, and I'm like, I still can't buy this. And there was also this, they tried to add in this extra drama bit where they were like, she was like,
I can't teach anymore.
Yeah, she's like, if I'm going to teach you
that.
karate, I can't date you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
That's weird.
They brought this whole thing up where they were like, it's either we're going to end Davos and we're going to end us. And I'm like,
why? That didn't make sense at all.
None of this makes sense. You're just trying to add CW drama. And there's this point where they were like, they were like done with it. And when like he was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to the dojo and just start cleaning up. And she's like, okay, yep, I guess I'll see you back there. And I'm like, yeah, you will, because you're like, you live together. Like, what is this unnecessary nonsense? What are you doing? And then they played this sad music while she walked away, and then looked over her shoulder. I'm like, you're not breaking up. You're going back to the same place. You're still going to run. You're going to run 2 different errands, and then meet each other in the place where you both live. Yeah. And sleep together.
What I don't understand is the whole, like, I gave up teaching forever.
Yes!
Like, why?
That is your one skill.
Okay, so that I felt was over dramatic, but at the same time there was aspects of it that were true, because let's be honest, she was teaching kids to be ninjas, to kill people. Like, that's a little much.
Kind of. Well, she wasn't. She was teaching kids karate, and then occasionally when she found like 1 or 2 that were real good, she was like, here, apply for this school, quote unquote, which was the hand. So she was passing people off.
She didn't even know of.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, like, I think she knew it was the hand. She just didn't know, she didn't understand the evil connotations the hand had.
Well, yeah. Well, that's not, I mean, that's not, that's the real hand. She didn't know the real hand.
And I would still feel responsible for that. If I was like, hey, this is my boy, teach him all your things, and then he ended up being like this super assassin and killing people, I'd still feel responsible for putting him into that situation.
I guess, but I would just teach better.
No, I agree, and it definitely was over dramatized. Like, you could still teach, just don't teach martial arts or something. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna teach you, Danny Rand, whom I love.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird that had they not trained together before? Because I'm like, if I'm a kung fu master and I'm dating a super awesome chick who is also a master of whatever it is she trains in, her martial art, I feel like I would spend more time doing that with her. I feel like that would be a common ground that we would both spend time doing.
Be it hot romantic, night out.
It's definitely a hobby that they share, obviously.
Like, why? Like, why was this the moment where he was like,
have some nice intimate time after the fights? Come on.
Surely, absolutely.
It's like the best time to have it.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Just like all of that was weird to me. I was like, what is this? What is going on? Why are we putting these weird restrictions on stuff? Anyway.
Fortunately, this was all in one episode.
Yeah. It was like 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. But so, and it like that was the only real like down point I saw in the show, because it was really good. Like, otherwise,
right?
Like, I enjoyed it.
I loved. Okay, so I had this little thing was spoiled for me, which was like maybe a week or 2 ago. Someone showed me the clip of Homeboy channeling his chi into 2 guns and using it to shoot 2 bullets out of a bullet.
Wow,
that was dope.
That was like the last scene.
It's literally the last thing in the whole series. And someone showed me that, and I was like, oh no, where is this going? And then when it got to the point where they had actually stolen the fist from him, I was like, oh no, that's great. I am all for a main character that loses their specialness and ability and has to work to get it back, and then it comes back even better. I'm so down for that. Like, I feel like that was much more earned now.
Why would someone show you that?
I don't.
Why would that? That
blows my mind.
That's like showing Dumbledore being killed and not giving.
But I mean, it's not though. Really, it's not. It's not that. Like,
is though.
All it is you're showing him with 2 fists he can channel it through a weapon, and I'm like, that's neat. Like, we all knew he was going to get to 2 fists one day, and sure, channeling it through 2 guns is fine, because it's not like it's not showing any kind of crazy thing. And, like, we all know he's going to get the fist back. Like, I wasn't worried about that. It just gave me, like, I think it enhanced that moment for me.
Yeah. That's still pretty rough for your friend showing you that.
Anyways,
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
like
it
a
picked up at that
questionable
point.
Oh yeah, definitely. And when I saw him lose the power, I was like, man, this is going to be the redemption arc. This is where we're going to finally see Danny, because like up until that point, we saw Danny doing stuff that was better than what he had done before, but it still didn't. It wasn't enough for me as a viewer to feel like, okay, this is Iron Fist. It wasn't until he started fighting for his fist that I was like, okay, no, this is Iron Fist.
The immortal Iron Fist.
A little bit better, yeah. I feel like
What'd you think of Misty, Ethan?
So Scott and Eddie assumed that I would hate Misty in this series, as I normally just don't like Misty.
No, I
in
didn't
Luke
say
Cage.
that. I said Misty is in there, so beware, Ethan, because
right,
you don't like Misty.
Right, I don't. I thought Misty was palpable. Oh, not what? Not palpable. Palatable in this series. I thought she was fine in this. I came to a realization, like an epiphany moment, when I was like early on watching this. Before she had even gotten there, I was thinking about like what I don't like about her, and then I realized that what I don't like about her is also what I don't like about Iron Fist.
Really?
And that is that they both have only one setting, and that is to talk to other people as if no one else in the world is right and they're the only right person.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how both of them address any other human being ever. And
That's fair.
I was like, oh, it's going to be great to watch them talk to each other. And it was. Like, because when they both do that to each other, I'm just like, oh, look at these clowns. It's great. It's so fun. So yeah, and also in this, like, she wasn't doing as much of her like policey stuff because she was sort of out of her element and on vacation and whatnot. So I think that was easier for me to handle because I feel like she's a little more self-righteous when she's swinging that around. Although she did it a little bit here, but like, it's just inconsistency is a big thing for me with Misty, and there's a little bit of it here, but it's a little more palatable. Like, for instance, she comes on being like, Danny, you better stay out of this police business with your fist and all that jazz. And then at the end, when Colleen has the fist, she's like, what you gonna do with that fist, girl? And I'm like, what? Like, what are you now condoning this because it's your friend? Like, what is happening with you? Who are you? Decide what side you're on, please.
Yeah, because even when she started off in the beginning, she made like a quick quip about Luke Cage's scenario and like how she didn't really agree with him, but at the same time she's like, yeah, go kick those guys' butts with your magic fist that can punch them through walls. Like, wait a second.
It's so weird. It's so weird to me. But anyway, she was fine in this, I guess.
Wow.
Hopefully she does get that upgrade to her arm and gets like some guns and some like laser shields and not like I want her arm to be just ridiculous.
Like Agent Coulson's fist.
Yes, I want it to be a freaking Iron Man arm. Like,
yeah, I think that's gonna happen because now that she is familiar with Danny might want to try to like experiment with the arm or something.
Yeah, maybe so.
Like help her out and stuff. So.
I feel like they need to have some kind of like crazy like experimentalist like guy, like R&D person that just goes to town on stuff. Like I feel like they should introduce something like that, like a. That would someone that would just go crazy, like how in like Arrow you had like Felicity and homeboy Roy. Yeah. What's his name? That was Roy who was like Adam or whatever. Like
no, that's
like
Ray.
That. It was some characters like that.
Yeah, Ray Palmer.
Ray, that's right, Ray. Do some nonsense like that. Do some experimenting. Get some guys that are just real on board to go ham on it and just do some nonsense. That'd be great. Well, while I'm thinking about it, we got further connection or further attempt to connect this to the grander universe, Marvel universe, with the name drop of Sokovia.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They said Sokovia a lot. One of the characters, Mary Walker, was trapped in Sokovia during some type of war or something of that nature, and I was like, oh, so they still are very much leaning into, hey, this is part of the Marvel universe, which we thought they were going to back off of, which I guess I don't know if they ever really backed off of it. I think just the most they ever did was drop like one thing in each season of anything that was like, hey, just so you know, we're in there.
They spoke about Green Man and Iron Man
Daredevil in the
and
first
stuff like that.
season of Daredevil. The only real Yeah, in the first season of Daredevil, the only real thing they did was like, hey, this place is cheap because of the New York incident, and that was really it.
Yep.
Dum.
And I didn't realize this, but this is I found out that all of the Netflix shows are also produced by ABC Studios, which I kind of figured because it's done by Disney, but like the Netflix specific ones are done by the same studios that they're all run by the same place, but they're owned by the subsidiary company that owns the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter shows as well, which is kind of cool because I showed Ethan earlier a picture of the cast of the Defenders along with two of the members of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Phil Coulson and Skye, and it's because the actor, Phil Coulson, he was promised by one of the producers of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that he would meet Iron Fist, and so he's like, I don't even care if I'm in character or not, but I want to be on screen with Iron Fist, and so that may possibly happen.
Hopefully it will. Awesome. That'd be a cool tie-in and a cool reveal. I'm excited to see Coulson in the movie again with Captain Marvel.
Oh heck yeah!
And yeah, I'm waiting for him to just be like triumphantly presented back into the Marvel universe.
That would be. I'm waiting for it too. I really hope. I'm hoping beyond hope that he's going to be in the new Avengers as well.
We shall see.
So, what did you think about Typhoid Mary?
Is that her?
That's her comic book name. Because in the comic book, she's got 3 names: Typhoid Mary Walker, and those are the 3 personalities.
Fun junk. I really liked Mary. From the moment I saw her, I was like, "This girl is evil." Whenever she was on screen for more than 5 seconds, I was like, "Oh no, this is gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad." And it was great.
For me, it was weird because in the beginning I was like, okay, so she's just playing a part. She's an actor, maybe a spy of some sort, working for Joy and everything. But then when it comes to the realization that this is a person that's struggling with multiple personalities, and you're like, the creep factor shot up to 11. It's like, whoa, okay.
Right. There's a certain point where at any time she's on the screen, it's tense. And
yeah.
I really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
They did a good job with that, I feel. It was pretty freaking cool. So a general problem I have with this series as a whole, that I've already made known, is homeboy Iron Fist's inability to beat whoever it is that comes at him, because he should be able to, but he doesn't. If anyone's coming at him with just martial arts skills, just hand-to-hand stuff, he should be able to handle it, but he just doesn't. There's so many times where he just doesn't handle it.
Yeah.
And it's like watching Mary wreck him, I was like, come on, man. You are the Iron Fist.
She was also another entry into guns. There was a lot more entries into guns in this show, because I was pretty off put by the first season where he fights a bunch of mob people and they're all wielding hatchets and crap, and I'm like, okay, that's not really believable. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they kept out pulling knives in this show.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's oh, there's another knife. Oh,
Knife,
they just got a
knife,
for it.
knife. Yep.
But 2 blocks down in Harlem, everybody's shooting each other with rocket launchers. So
absolutely.
So
that still gets me every time I think about that. Boy fired a rocket launcher, no one blinked an eye. I'm like, what? What New York do you live in?
But
anyway.
Where's the Punisher when you need him?
Yeah, it's just.
But I really liked Mary's character. She was obviously she's not relatable because I don't suffer from the mental disorder that she's dealing with. But each personality is in its right relatable. I related to Mary as well as I did Walker. She's a complicated person, yes, but she also just wants to find a bottom line, a peaceful line.
I get that. I can't say I related to her, but I enjoyed watching whoever was on screen. I enjoyed watching.
Yep.
It was really cool. Let's talk about Davos. I didn't like Davos. What's wrong with Davos?
He was. I don't know. He's the same. Scott said it. He had the same issues as
Danny
did.
Yep.
And with his emotions and stuff. And it's this is not right.
Right.
Everybody is super upset. and like can't control their anger. What's the point of training in a monastery of monks and martial arts for hundreds of years, of generations or whatever that Kunlun was or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just there should be everything I've always known about martial arts, even having learned a little bit, of the teachings and stuff myself. It's always not violent. It's always to control your emotions.
Self-mastery.
Yeah, it's a self thing as opposed to like a offensive tool.
Yeah,
right.
And it's just none of that was shown ever.
Accurate.
Also, Davos is from the comics as well. He's Steel Serpent, right? And they showed only one aspect of that in the show, where he takes out that mob boss guy with that like weird serpent strike thing. But other than that, like, he's got a red fist, and he just mocks Iron Fist's powers. Basically, it didn't make he didn't feel like any different than Danny was season 1. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was almost like Danny was fighting himself, like his past self, but like he hadn't gotten quite that far when Davos came around.
He was only like a half step ahead of Davos in that respect. So yeah, I don't like Davos. Physically, yeah, like he wasn't much different. He was just a martial artist with a glowing fist, like Danny, and he was also really angry. I think they tried to play on the brother betraying thing here.
Yes.
And I feel like it kind of worked.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like I felt more for Davos in the last season.
Oh yeah.
Because at that point he really was just desperately trying to get Danny to come back and do what Danny the Iron Fist was supposed to do. Yeah. And then Danny was just like, nah, bro, I'm going to stay here. And Davos was like, why? And he was like, I mean, I don't know. And like, this is a huge issue I had with the first season was motivation, because Danny had no motivation whatsoever. Like, if anyone stopped to ask him, like, hey, why did you come back to New York? Like, one of his literal answers was, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Which is so stupid.
Why do you not know why you flew across the world?
Which is so stupid because like he already betrayed the Kunlun when he left, right? He was their guardian and protector, but then because he dropped the ball, Kunlun disappeared, and so literally it's his fault that everything fell apart. And so from Davos' perspective, you literally just ruined my life and everybody else's in Kunlun's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Just to get your life back in New York? I mean, was it worth it? Like, did you have fun, Danny?
Yep, very true. He's got literally dozens of people's lives on his hands.
Yeah.
But then, like, later on, Davos is like, meh, I'm going to be a teacher, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to train these kids
Davos
to
turned around
kill
real
people.
quick, didn't he?
I'm just going to murder people.
And I think that was, like, that's the biggest, like, what to me was the whole like teaching thing and complete lack of everything that he was fighting for, like initially with Danny. And it's like, okay, well now he's killing people.
Yeah, I think he would have had an opportunity to. They had an opportunity here, I think, to have him be more respectful than Danny, to have him be an actual better Iron Fist. I don't know how much y'all know about Spider-Man, but there's a run in the comics where Dr. Octavius, he essentially like switches minds with Peter Parker, and he like gets stuck in Peter Parker's body. And he's like, it's strange, yeah. But he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be the best freaking Spider-Man there ever freaking was. And he pretty much accomplishes that. Like, he just becomes a really freaking good Spider-Man.
Really?
I think it's called the Superior Spider-Man. Is that run of comics? And I'm like, that's dope. Like, that's such a good idea. Like, I'm gonna stick it to Peter by being better than he ever freaking was. And obviously no one will really know because I look like Peter and sound like Peter, but I know that I'm a better Super Spider-Man than he ever freaking was.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of dope. And I feel like they could have had an opportunity to do that here, but I guess they just didn't. They still wanted to make Danny look like the the one on the right.
And Davos had a good point. Like, Dany's job was to kill the Hand. It wasn't just to put him down. It wasn't to get him arrested or whatever. Because the Hand always comes back. Like they've been. This is a group that's been around for centuries, and so you can't just put him in jail because they're going to come back or whatever. But then when Davos gets to the point where he's like psychotic, where he's just like killing this like storefront owner because he didn't agree, like you're like, whoa, man. And then he kills these kids, or the kid like slits his friend's throat, and I'm like, okay, what are we teaching these kids here?
The sickness must be purged.
Yep.
The sickness is stupidity, therefore everyone must die.
Of course, yes. Like I think his motivations were a lot more believable than Joy's. Joy's motivations were just insane.
Oh, don't get me started on freaking Joy. I hate that girl. I don't know what she wants out of life.
I don't know what either. What does she want?
What? Boo-hoo. Oh my god.
She even said
Okay, so first off, she's like, Daddy took everything. He came into our life and we lost everything. I'm like, you didn't lose
crap.
Jack.
You have everything.
You still are part of this company.
But Daddy.
You still got all of this money.
The first episode was her buying it out. Like,
better life than, like, name someone. You have a better life than them, almost certainly. And I'm like, what did he take? What did he screw up? Literally nothing for you. And then, oh gosh, my dad. Ward, why didn't you tell me Dad was alive? Because he's a murdering psychopath.
Yeah, and Dad would
He
literally have
killed someone in front of you.
Yeah.
You watched him murder someone. And you're what? Why? Oh my gosh. I don't know. Like, ugh. Who is you? And what is... So we're gonna take the fist from Dany so he knows what it's like to lose something. This kid fell out of a plane.
Yeah.
Lost his family.
He lost everything.
Was trained by monks for 15 years. Comes back, and he took nothing from you. And who? Oh, what a brat! Like,
I know, she's like a 5-year-old.
Granted, most people in this act like brats.
Well,
Davos was also a brat.
Yeah, very much so.
And Dany has certainly been that. But like, I'm just like, who? What? Okay, so like, the real victim, I feel, in both of these seasons, has been Ward.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my god, poor Ward.
I love Ward to
crap.
death. He's my favorite person.
He is like the best character.
He made a lot of change in this season.
He is the realest human in all of these things.
And his quips are the best. I love him so much. Like, his writing is amazing. Or like his character writing was amazing.
Yes.
Like, even in the first season, Ward was the highlight for me.
That's
same.
That moment when he's like...
completely agree. When he killed his dad the first time, I was like, holla, bro. You got it.
Why can't you be the Iron Fist?
That moment when he's like explaining to Joy about how his father, like, if he had this whole plan about going to the airport, getting the ticket, taking her off and running.
Yeah.
Like, he was almost down to tears. Like, I wanted to tell you everything. Like, I really felt for that because his father, like, he was basically a prisoner to his father, and like he was keeping that from her because he didn't want her to deal with that.
And what was Joy's response?
It's too late. Like, what's wrong with you, Joy?
God, crazy.
I felt so bad for him.
Oh yes, agreed.
He needs his own series, though. I want to see the
that's-
life and times of Ward Meacham.
Yeah.
So this all comes, like, my favorite part of this whole series is the final 5-minute sequence.
Oh yeah.
It literally is. Of like, I love that Ward goes with him.
Yeah. Oh
on
yeah.
his like journey, whatever it is. I love that he's helping him, that they're involved
Like
in
the
that.
quippy
that, like,
sidekick?
Ward's using his skills. I love, so like, okay, I'm gonna go over what I love so much about the double fist gun thing.
Besides the fact that
First
it looks awesome.
First off, he has his fist back, which confirms to me what I was always thinking was that, okay, like, I don't think he ever really lost it.
No.
I think he just needed to actually remember and like understand that he is the Iron Fist, that this is his, that it is his duty, and that the dragon can choose him whenever he feels like it, whenever he's ready. I think this was just a moment, like, he just needed to take this time out to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
And once he actually really figured it out, once the power was coming from him and his understanding and not just from the dragon, then he would be able to do it to put it into both fists and to actually be the Iron Fist that he's supposed to be because he's learned what he's supposed to do. Also, he would then become a bit more quippy and fun and not as crazy and angry because in that moment, in that scene, he gets up, he pulls out his guns, he blocks one bullet with his really cool Iron Fist guns. He makes a little quip. He's like, let's try not to do that again, okay, guys? And then he just turns around and sits down. He doesn't go crazy. He doesn't beat the crap out of them. He does none of that. He's just fun, and he's like, hey, look, I've got this. You're not going to beat me. Trust me. Let's just talk this out. Which is how he should have been from the beginning with anyone. If anyone comes at him with a sword, with their fists, with anything, he should just quietly put it down. Put them down, put them in a situation where they feel dumb for having even tried it, and then be like, okay, now that we've established that you're definitely not going to beat me, let's actually talk about what we should be doing here. And I loved that. I love that we got to that point. I hate that it took 2 seasons to get there, and I really hope that they continue that with that spark of this delightful Iron Fist that is actually in control of himself. I hope they continue on with that and run with that and give us a fun one. But gosh, it was good to see.
Oh yeah,
I love that. So like, I just love that Ward got there and that Danny got there, and that we are there. But anyway, that was my little love rant about that.
Very, very good points. And yeah, it should have been the initial stuff, but you know, gotta have that old Netflix build up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do like the idea that Colleen is another form of an Iron Fist as well. I don't know, is Colleen from the comics? I didn't look her up at all.
I don't know if she has that ability in the comics. So Colleen and Misty from the comics are the Daughters of the Dragon. They're like a duo that go around doing crime fighting stuff. So hopefully they will get their own little series. I would like to see the two of them doing things. I feel like Misty is most palatable when she's with Colleen.
Yeah.
And
they made a Nightwing reference in the series.
Oh yeah, Nightwing.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're like, has a good ring to it, and I'm like, that's wrong franchise, but okay.
No, I'm like, yeah, you do that. You do this better than any DC's things doing it. I like that. Let's go.
Good old DC.
Poor old DC. Oh, another section that I absolutely loved. I love seeing Turk again.
Holy crap, Turk is like MVP of this whole series of like,
I love Turk so much.
Of like every one of these, like he's there for every Defender series, and he's like always getting the shaft.
I mean, he's a bad dude.
Well, yeah.
But he's just like the scapegoat, and I love it. I love it so much. See him doing his thing, selling guns, even though even though we just saw him tell Luke Cage
that he's out of the business.
He was legit. Yeah. Swinging at golf balls, and I just like Ward, just like shoulders down, relax, think about sunsets. Like, yes, thank you, Ward. And his conversation in that same scene with Mary, Ward's conversation. Well, I think the technical term is patricide, but I don't know. He was already dead, and then I killed him again after already being dead. Necrocide, maybe? I don't know. Yes. Yes, Ward, yes. Claire was not in this, though she was mentioned.
Yeah. But she really didn't.
She's on vacation right now, right?
Yeah.
She's like in the Bahamas or some nonsense.
She didn't really play a big part in Luke Cage season 2 either. After like the first episode or so, like when she left,
she played the role she was supposed to play.
Yeah. Then she left. She really needs her own show. We really need to see like what she's doing.
I don't really know what her show would be like, though. Just like, would it just serve as a way to introduce us to a whole bunch of other Marvel heroes that we don't know about?
Watching Marvel heroes being like, I don't need a hospital. Don't take me to the hospital.
Just watch her stumble into heroes that need help.
I'm allergic to hospitals.
It could be like
and she walks into a convenience store one day and someone like is a hero just on the floor bleeding, like,
it could be like
come
on. Hospitals,
though.
No hospitals.
Yes, no hospitals.
It could be like an Agent Carter kind of show where like every episode she's like presented with a new problem or whatever, a new person to fix up or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
She could also be good at fighting her own bad guys because she's been training with Colleen.
Maybe. Regardless, I think we'll see her back. I hope she shows up in Daredevil season 3.
Yeah.
I'm sure she will.
Maybe she'll go back to
I'm
Matt
so
Murdock. So.
Because Matt Murdock is also allergic to hospitals.
That's
so.
accurate. No, I think she'll be back with Luke. I think that's the ultimate ending up point again, but I think it'll be part of Luke Cage season 3.
Really? Because
I mean, Luke's gonna have to go through a redemption arc. He's the head of the freaking club now, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, that was such a weird place to leave that show.
I wondered about Claire though, but I also thought like maybe Claire was meant to be with Matt Murdock because the comics it's all led up to Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and we only see that once in Jessica Jones season 1, and it's never ever mentioned again. Even in Defenders, it's not mentioned. I don't think.
Well, I mean, they have their dialogue together, and it's like obvious that they have a thing. I don't think Jessica Jones is gonna end up with Luke again.
You don't.
No, I just think it works with Claire too well. Like, she grounds him too well for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like Jessica would only entice him to do crazier stuff, like own a nightclub.
Yeah.
Good thing he's already doing
Yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know
Jessica.
where Jessica is on the Love Life. I haven't watched either of her seasons.
Yeah, me neither.
Eddie,
She's doing fine. She had a new move-in with her apartment. She lives in an apartment with her like job, and she works out of her apartment. And she had a neighbor move in, and he's a hot guy who has a kid, but he's afraid of her because she's a super, and they end up eating lunch together in the end because she saved his little boy from falling or something like that.
So cute. Hopefully she finds love.
Hopefully she gets nicer.
Yeah, well, with the kid around, I think that's going to be a good influence on her if they stick together. So
Maybe.
that would be interesting, seeing Mommy Jessica.
Hopefully it works. That would be fun. I think that would be really fun. I think she would just be like she could just be like a really pissed off soccer mom all the time.
Gotta get the let me talk to your manager haircut.
Yes.
Because I mean, the whole second season is about like her and her mom.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
having gone through a parental
And also about people getting tons of
relationship.
superpowers. It seems like everybody who didn't have a superpower finds their superpower or loses their superpower. There's just a lot of that.
Well, there was like experimentation being done on people
Yeah.
in the second season, and like they were looking for people
Okay,
for answers for herself.
I know this is off topic as well, but Hogarth, is she dying or did they fix her? Because I couldn't find out what...
Who is Hogarth?
Hogarth is
Hogarth
Trinity
is the lawyer.
from The Matrix.
Oh.
Because like she has cancer, and then they find that healing meta.
H Money.
But then
She's the lawyer.
H money.
She is still in bad shape.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Cool.
Because I was like, they found the healer, but then the healer ended up getting killed, and I was like, did they find a different healer? She's just out in the wind. Like maybe she'll just die off, and then we'll see Foggy take care of it. So
Foggy, man.
he's probably the least. He's probably the thing that's worried me the most about Daredevil season 3. It's like I feel like if there's anything that would drag season 3 down, it's Foggy.
Well, he was reading a letter in the trailer.
I know.
So.
I like Foggy.
I like him
Yeah, I
too,
like
but
Foggy
season
too.
2 was kind of crap, and then the Defenders was like even like it just got to be more. I think.
I think he was fine in the Defenders. He was a bit whiny in season 2.
Yeah.
Why are you doing all this fighting and
Yeah,
stuff?
what-
You told us we
You're
weren't gonna do
addicted
it
to your
anymore.
fighting, and you can't do the thing. You're like, okay, well, if I didn't do the thing, then the hand would have killed everybody. So.
Shut up, Fuzzy Bear.
Yep. I'm just ready. Ready to see Wilson Fisk again.
Me too. Kaylee is excited about Wilson Fisk too. She was like,
I mean,
She should
everybody
be.
should be excited
He is-
about Wilson Fisk.
The best villain to come out of this.
Wilson Fisk
Yep.
is definitely her bae. So.
Oh.
I mean, he's my baby too.
And he's wearing the iconic white suit with red rose. That man, I thought, man, right out of the comics, it looked
Getting that kingpin.
way good.
Love it. I also love seeing that actor in anything else. Have you ever seen him do anything else?
Yeah, actually,
He's great. He's in the Magnificent Seven.
Yep.
It's like a mountain man. It's super good.
He's in the Jurassic World movie.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was the trainer.
Oh, that's right. He is that guy. Yes.
And
he was what?
He was the trainer that tried to get Blue weaponized or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he also...
He's in a...
Go ahead.
He's in a mob movie that I've seen where he's just like another mobster. It's like one that's based off of like actual mob members. Yeah. I can't remember what it is.
Based on a true story.
Yeah.
He also did voice work for Dishonored 2. He played the Viceroy that you assassinate in Dishonored 2, which was pretty cool because as you're progressing through the game or whatever, there's like a PA system throughout the city, and you just hear him like talking about trash about this assassin and blah blah blah, and you're like, wait till I get to your mansion
in this game?
and take you out, man. Yeah.
I didn't know Wilson Fisk was in this game.
That's fun. Anything else about Iron Fist? Do you think Misty and Ward are going to get that hookup?
Oh yeah, heck yeah, that's
That
totally
was really
happening.
funny to me.
Maybe not, because I really feel like he should be the father figure of his child.
No, I hope they go that direction. I'm sure they will.
I don't know. I think Misty deserves better, but
Yeah, probably so.
I mean, Ward is cute and funny and amazing and all, but he's not a relationship type person.
No, at least not right now. He might have changed on his study abroad with Iron Fist in China, but maybe not.
Yeah, true.
He's
Maybe.
no Luke Cage.
No.
Yeah, that's true. He's not gonna scare anybody. He's just gonna be like a drunken puppy that's like going around.
But Misty's had Luke Cage, so I'm just like,
So has Jessica Jones and
how
Claire.
are you gonna go from there?
Let's be honest. Luke Cage has had basically every
Normally go up.
female in his series. So
Luke. Oh man.
sweet Christmas.
Sweet Christmas.
But yeah, watch it. It's good.
Yeah, Iron Fist 2 is
if
worth
you-
the watch.
Oh yeah.
If you watched the first season, definitely watch the second one because it's better.
Yep.
Yeah, accurate.
Even if the first one was crappy, but Scott disagrees.
And I feel like this last
was
episode
bad.
left me wanting more, and I feel like that's really what all these shows should have been like.
Yes. You shouldn't feel exhausted when you're done.
No.
You should want more. I do feel like the fighting was improved in this, but still not.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not where I want it, but still improved. I liked it a lot.
It's not Daredevil fighting, like,
right.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. It's not, and I just wish
There's too many cuts, like in between the martial arts stuff. Like
And
you're
I
not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I grew up on Jackie Chan, so my bar is pretty high. And like
Well, yeah,
I
mean, but he's like the peak of like
he
martial
is.
art movies.
But I mean, like, invite him in. You've got all the money in the world. Invite him to
Right.
be like, hey, why don't you choreograph a fight scene, like the big one in this? Do something. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, that'd be so.
However, they are getting ties to the Last Airbender guys, so they might take some more info if this does well.
Take a leaf out of their book. That'd be great.
Please.
That'd be pretty awesome.
So maybe good things, since a lot of their shows actually deal around martial arts. It's a good move.
Yeah, I'd agree. That'd be cool. Yeah, Iron Fist is good. Watch it.
Good. Yep.
Let's
B plus.
let's do the nerding out stuff. What is everybody nerding out to?
God, what are we nerding out to? I have been nerding out to Fortnite, like the tool that I am.
Really?
Because there's a werewolf skin, and I really want it.
Is that really the only reason why you started playing?
Well, I played before.
Oh.
Like, I played PUBG, and I kind of weaned off of it. But I played a bit of Fortnite as well, like back in like season 2. It's at like season 6 now.
It's cross console now, so we can play together.
Yeah, we could.
I've gathered myself.
And,
So, listeners, if you ever want Eddie to play anything, just make sure there's a werewolf skin.
I mean, hey,
Lead with
you know,
that. Let's be like,
that's what I like, yo. Like there's one in Paladins as well, and I was like, I don't play Paladins, but I like that.
that is absurd. Like, yo, Eddie, you gonna play that Hey You Pikachu? I heard they got a werewolf skin in it.
Ooh, that Lycanroc though.
I played some of Paladins, and I've never played Overwatch, but Paladins was pretty dope to play.
Yeah,
I don't think I know what Paladins is.
It's basically Overwatch.
Cool.
It's free to play Overwatch.
But Overwatch doesn't have a werewolf skin.
It's true.
Give it some time.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm just waiting for like
Have they
Roadhog
any,
to have like an actual like hog skin.
Have they released any like Halloween skins yet this year?
For Overwatch?
Yeah.
They're slowly releasing them currently, actually.
Got you.
Like
I'm sure
two of them have been revealed.
that would be an area I would expect to see one if they do one.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But I don't think there is going to be one because the icons for the skins have already been released, and it's like not really anything animalistic, except for Doomfist's. He's like a swamp monster fish kind of thing. He looks like the thing from that sex movie, the fish movie that had the girl had sex with the fish.
Movie?
Awesome.
Shape of Water. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing that you know that movie.
You should do
for.
movie descriptions.
Yeah, right.
What a girl has sex with the fish.
The back of the box. What a girl has sex.
But other than that, I started up Nier Automata.
Yes.
Have you got through all 26
how are you liking
endings?
that?
Not yet. I just started it, so
got
and
through
I
that
died
ending?
on like
No.
the double saw blade
good.
thing at the beginning, and there's no save point up to that point.
Oh gosh.
So I had to replay the entire opening, and it was a drag. But I did it.
I hear that it's
Cool.
pretty difficult in its curve. Like its difficulty curve is pretty steep.
Yeah. I mean, even like the first like sequence, the running through like the tutorial area, it's pretty difficult. Like,
Did you crank the difficulty up to 11? Do you have that option?
Yeah. Well, no, I put it on like normal. I think there's 3 levels. There's like blah, casual, normal, and hard. But I rarely go for the hard thing unless it's like a platformer like
Right.
Wonder Boy.
Gosh.
But, which I still haven't beat. It's like that.
You haven't beat, but I got you
it's
so
hard.
far, Eddie.
I have my own file, thank you.
I know.
But other than Nier Automata and Fortnite, really, it's been about it.
Excellent. Scott, what you been up to?
Well, the last couple of months I've been schmanging through all of the episodes of Critical Role and trying to catch up to all that. Because that started when I was on my mission, and like they have like over 140 some odd episodes now, and so since May I've been like going through those and everything, and I'm pretty far into it now. They're in their second campaign, and they're really kicking some serious tar. As for video games, I just picked up Valkyria Chronicles 4 for the Switch, and
Oh, sweet.
it's
Let me know how that is.
freaking good. I mean, it's really, really good. I don't know if you've ever played any of the original Valkyria Chronicle games. I mean, most of them are for the PS2, and then like one of them was in Japan only, and then one of them was like a Vita game or whatever. But it's good.
Mm-hmm. I played one, I think I own one. I never got terribly far into it, but I recall correctly, it was kind of a divergence from their normal play style.
Yeah, it's like tactics, but when you move your character, you're physically moving in it. It's like first or third person shooter and everything, and it's pretty cool. Other than that, I started a show called The Good Place on Netflix.
I've been meaning to start that.
It's hilarious. I am a big fan. It's about this girl who dies and goes to heaven, basically, and she gets introduced to her home, and everybody in the good place gets like a soulmate that's like your companion and everything, that walks around and everything with you and everything, and there's like this whole wonderful life that she's lived or whatever. And after Michael leaves her to her business, she turns to her companion and she goes, "Okay, that was not my life. I'm a really horrible person. I don't know how I got here."
Yeah.
And so the world, basically, the good place starts to have glitches in the mainframe because she's supposed to be in the bad place, and now she's trying to figure out why she got there. So it's hilarious.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I've been meaning to start it, so maybe I will. I'll watch it with you, alongside you.
Yeah.
What about you, Ethan?
Yeah, what about
I
you?
finished the main story for Yoku's Island Express.
Wow.
And gosh, it was fun. I'm still playing it because there's still plenty of stuff to do post game or post story. It's just a lot of extra stuff. So it's like I said before, it is a Metroidvania style game, but with pinball mechanics. So you are attached to this little ball that you're pushing around, and you pinball yourself around this island into different areas with different goals, and it's really fun. It's really cool. Your original goal was to protect the final. They're like these big titans that live on the island that sort of act as like these elders and protect it. And there are 4 of them in total. 3 of them have died by the god killer already, and you're to protect the final one. And I did that and beat the boss. And
dang.
It was super cool. It's super cute and has moments of extreme darkness, and you're like, what is going on? It's a really interesting contrast, but it's fun to play. It's super fun. It just reminds me of old pinball style, like pinball adventure games I would play on the computer, like really late 90s kind of fare. And it's wonderful. Nice nostalgia, cool music, and it's satisfying to explore because you explore like you would in like a Metroid game where you don't know the whole map yet. It's just blank, and it fills in as you go. So there's a real satisfaction to exploring like everything in a little area and getting all the little stuff, everything you can get out of that section. It's really cool. You just got to be clever sometimes with the way you play, and then it's great. It's satisfying and fun, and I can play it for 15 minutes and feel like I got a good bit out of it. So I enjoy that. I enjoy being able to get something out of the time that I put into something. So that's good. It was a good time.
Sounds like a good game, Ethan.
Thanks. It is a good game. I've been enjoying it. I don't know that I've been doing much else in the way of my own nerddom. Just watched a whole lot of Iron Fist, and began watching the final episode, I think, of this season of Voltron, and we'll finish that maybe
Oh
tonight or
yeah,
tomorrow.
I watched another like 3 episodes of that too.
There you go.
And you know, with your like criticism of like childishness on Undertale, I feel like I can apply the same to this show.
Yeah.
Especially with having a food fight to form Voltron.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Ethan.
Very, very childish. Just give it some time.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
I am. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So, like, considering, like, I don't like big robot anime or
That's true.
cartoon shows, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice. I'm enjoying it, and I'll probably watch more. So,
Cool.
we can have a real season 1 Voltron discussion.
Ooh.
The dream.
Since you had my Undertale discussion.
Cool. Well, sweet. I think that about does it this week. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for sharing with a friend if you do. Please give it a like, give it a comment, give it a subscribe, whatever it is you can do on whatever platform you listen to us through. We would appreciate that. You can you can contact us at TNYKPod on Twitter or through Gmail, thosenerdsyouknowpod at gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find the pod on iTunes and Google Play, YouTube, CastBox, Stitcher, Podbean. A lot of places that you'll find pods, you will find us. We just thank you so much for listening. Let us know how you felt about Iron Fist 2, if you felt it was better than the first season. Hopefully you did. And let us know if you're as excited as we are for Daredevil 3. What's that, Eddie?
I said if they didn't, you're wrong.
Yes, absolutely you are. But let us know if you're wrong. Please do all that for us. Again, we appreciate you listening. My name is Ethan.
I'm Eddie.
I'm Scott.
And we are those nerds you know. Bye.